Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're getting straight into a really core question, I think. Why does so much self-help stuff feel good to learn about, but, well, doesn't actually lead to deep change? We've got this dialogue transcription that tackles this head-on. It tries to separate the easy stuff from the real work.
Right. It's that gap between, hearing about something profound and actually living differently because of it. And the source really frames this around what it calls the pop side of self-knowledge.
Pop knowledge. Okay, how does the source define that exactly?
It's defined as everything that becomes too easy, too digestible, but not necessarily stupid.
Okay, easy, digestible, but not dumb. That's interesting.
Yeah.
But what really jumped out at me was the warning the author included about their own work.
Oh, yeah, that was quite something.
They said even their popular talks could become pop, and if that happened, it meant they went the wrong way.
Which completely flips the script, doesn't it? Usually popularity is the goal. Here, it's almost a warning sign.
Exactly. It suggests maybe mass appeal dilutes the transformative power.
It really focuses on the quality of how someone interprets or engages with an idea, not just the idea itself. And there's this, well, pretty stark analogy used in the dialogue.
Which one is that?
It compares pop spirituality to like a carrot hanging in front of a donkey.
Oof, that's blunt. So it keeps you moving, but you never actually reach the carrot.
Precisely. It encourages motion, a feeling of progress, but the text says it never truly changes you.
Mm-hmm.
It even mentions transurfing as a possible example, though it's careful not to dismiss any specific worldview outright.
So the issue isn't necessarily the idea at its core. It could be something profound.
That's the argument. The problem identified is the beautiful, comfortable wrapping.
The packaging makes it too easy, too palatable.
Yeah, and then it becomes always something that everyone praises, but almost no one lives by.
I think we can all recognize that pattern. Things that trend, everyone talks about them for a week.
And it's gone. Forgotten. No real indication. The masses love it, chat about it, and move on.
Okay, so if that comfortable consumption is the trap, what does the necessary effort look like, according to this dialogue?
It shifts to a very concrete example. Achieving what it calls the roots of complex thinking.
How? What's the method?
It points to reading what the poet Brodsky apparently called the minimum set of books a person must read to truly see the world.
A reading list. Okay. Is it about understanding everything instantly? Because that sounds like the usual self-help promise.
No, actually quite the opposite. The dialogue specifically says understanding every single page doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. So what is the point then?
Just finishing the list, doing the work itself. That's the key insight.
To get through it.
Get through it. And the guaranteed result, according to the source, is that the world around you will no longer be the same. And there'll be no way back to the simple one.
Wow. So the transformation is structural, baked into the effort itself, not some sudden aha moment from one page.
Exactly. But this leads right into what the source calls the valley barrier.
The valley barrier. What's that?
It's the observation that most people will just, look at the huge effort required, like trying to estimate the mountain's height while sitting at the bottom of the valley.
And they just give up before starting.
Pretty much. The sheer scale of the commitment feels overwhelming. And the dialogue points out that the straightforward sort of business logic, invest X effort now, get Y result later, it doesn't really work for inner development.
Because the profit isn't tangible or quick.
Right. It requires this long-term internal investment that doesn't pay off in obvious, immediate ways. And most people, frankly, don't sustain that.
Okay, so if the big structured plan often fails because of this valley barrier, how does the author suggest change can happen?
It seems to shift towards something much less direct, more subtle.
Like what?
The preferred method described is throwing in tiny ideas from time to time. Little seeds.
Just small seeds, hoping one takes root.
Sort of. Small prompts that might, just might, nudge someone towards a more interesting way of being. It's not a program. It's planting possibilities.
Right.
It relies on the person connecting with it internally.
Less instruction, more ignition, like you said earlier.
Exactly.
Which brings us to the final question raised in the dialogue, right? The big one.
Yeah, the interlocutor asks, can a person actually decide, just through sheer force of will, to make this kind of deep transformative change?
Can you just will yourself onto that harder path?
And the author's response? Well, it's not a yes or no.
What is it?
It's a riddle. The answer given is simply, we're all in the same boat.
And we're all in the same boat. Huh. And that's where the dialogue leaves it.
That's the cliffhanger.
Okay, so that's our deep dive for today. We sort of unpacked this tension between easy pop knowledge and the really demanding work of transformation, using the source dialogue as our guide.
Highlighting the difference between consumption and genuine interchange.
But we leave you with that riddle. We're all in the same boat. What do you think that implies about pure willpower versus maybe our shared situation, our shared humanity when it comes to making these fundamental shifts?
Who else is in that boat with us?
Something to think about. And remember, this dialogue is part of a continuing series. To get the full context, we definitely recommend checking out the source material. You can find the video or listen to the podcast version.
Yeah, exploring the earlier parts would definitely add more layers to this. Check out the channel page.
Until next time.